Hey, good morning. Welcome to Monday. Hey, it's March 25th. We are heading into the last week of March. It's hard to believe this will be Friday will end the quarter. And so we've got a few more earnings coming out this week. They're getting slimmer and slimmer. And some economic news we'll talk about when Dave gets on the line. But glad you're with us today. And again, if you're getting close to retirement, hey, give us a call at 382-0037. Schedule your free, no obligation X-ray report, or click the link above to do the same thing. So we'll be right back.
Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Dave. Hey, doing well. Got to see lots of basketball this weekend, so that was a good thing. My Seminoles made it to the Sweet 16, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, boy, two games of import. Number one, the Noles get by, and they get to meet you lucky birds. You got Gonzaga next.
Yeah, that may be
Yeah,
that'll be a tough game, but I think
it's
we've beaten them
yes.
before.
Hey, we're at the state pride. Go Noles. The real heartbreaker of the bunch, boy, University of Central Florida almost knocked off Duke. Boy, they darn near got their Cinderella crown, didn't they?
They did. They gave Duke all they wanted. That's for sure. That was a great game. I did see that one. So good. That was a good game, and they're really moving themselves up in the sports arena all the way around.
Absolutely. I mean, they're hot in football, and now they proved they could play basketball as well. On to what we're supposed to be talking about today, money, and boy, oh boy, did Friday stink. This just illustrates the point behind always read more than one source. One of my sources was saying the market had the jitters because of the Mueller report coming out. We talked about it all Friday, and there were some other things that dragged it down, and they were probably more to blame, weren't they?
Well, I think so, Dave. I think that, don't get me wrong. I think the Mueller report coming out did have something to do with it, but we can see this morning that we're still heading south. So that obviously wasn't everything. And so if we looked at, I read several reports on Friday. Sorry, I've had some technical difficulties and wasn't here with you, but we had a few things come out. One was manufacturing again in China and manufacturing here in the United States. We're seeing a significant decline, which is again indicating that we're seeing some softening in our marketplace. You know, wholesale inventories were up substantially on Friday's numbers. So not that everything's bad, but things are just slowing down. Our growth is not going to be as much as what everybody was anticipating, and so we're just seeing growth kind of slowing off a little bit.
Absolutely, and it needs to be said, and you put it very well. We're still growing; we just aren't growing as fast as expected. And if we're able to go through a few quarters of, 2.25, 2.5% growth in the gross domestic product, while China crashes, there are a whole lot worse things that can happen, right?
Well, that's true, and I'm sure that the traders out there are thinking, okay, we're slowing down, we're slowing down. Is that all we're going to do, or are we going to actually tip from being slow down to recession? And nobody knows the answers to that right now.
Absolutely. One thing's for sure. If you were the market getting nervous, we'll get into it in a few minutes, but they're buying federal bonds like chiclets right now and causing some vagaries in the interest rates that don't bode well, correct?
You're absolutely right, Dave. You know, the interest rates in the 10-year Treasury. I honestly I can't remember the last time that I saw them this low. I'm sure it hadn't been that long ago, but we're down below 2.5% on the 10-year Treasury, which is I mean, that's just crazy low right now.
Which is generally an indication that people are buying them like crazy. And the real number that gets scary is we're only a couple of basis points away from the price that 3-month Treasury bills are going for. And when those two cross, that's considered almost axiomatic that we're going into a bad patch of ground on the economy when those interest rates cross.
Yeah, when we have the inverted yield curve, it does cause some problems in the yield in the bond market and in the stock market. Both of those indexes and markets do not like when we see that inverted yield curve.
Understood. Getting on to the current situation as far as items going on today, Winnebago was really the only great household word that reported their quarterly earnings so far, and I gather it wasn't the best of news, huh?
Well, they did come out. They beat on earnings per share by about 2 cents a share, but revenue was short. of what the forecast was. They did say that the marketing, the market conditions have been kind of challenging over the past 6 months, but they're optimistic about conditions improving going forward for the rest of this year. So they're not getting hurt too bad this morning. They're actually up about a little over 0.5% this morning. So that report's not hurting them today anyway.
Which kind of interesting. That does give us kind of a test jig there that good guidance can even trump missing one of the other metrics, right?
Well, it can. If you look at kind of what their stock's done year to date, it's up 20%. But if you look at the whole year, the last 12 months, they're down 24%. So they're coming off of a bottom coming up this year.
Okay. Another bit of company news out today. Apple has announced they've got a major event coming up. Word is they're going to introduce a streaming media service, which kind of goes against the flow at the moment with all the freebies out there. Streaming media is something you can get free with an Amazon Prime subscription, or Google will stream up the yin yang for free when you got an account with them. Apple thinks they can get $9 a month for it. Going to be kind of interesting to see whether or not some of the predictions are, as soon as they announce it, whether or not everybody's going to sell their Apple stock off of that, right?
Well, it will be. It'll be, Apple's always trying to reinvent themselves and trying to, one up everybody. And so we'll just have to see how that comes out and what kind of participation they can get from the consumer. They're going to have some premium items in there to get people to pay for that service.
Understood. Looking at the week ahead, we've got basically a checkered picture of things going into this morning. The week, is it going to give us anything interesting to talk about, Phillip?
It really is. There's a few things coming out this week that I think we got. Housing starts and building permits are supposed to come out tomorrow. And then Wednesday, not much there. There's a crude oil inventory will come out. Thursday, I think, is probably going to be the big day, Dave, where we've got the third estimate of GDP is supposed to be out by 8:30. And then that's the gross domestic product. And then we're supposed to have GNP come out, imports, initial claims, pending home sales. So Thursday's going to be a big day.
That gross domestic product report is going to be kind of a bellwether, given the concern we've got about slowdowns.
Yes, I believe that's one of the things I'm really looking for Thursday to determine what that's going to look like. And then Friday, we've got new home sales. So this week is kind of packed with some, at least towards the end of the week, is packed with some decent economic news coming out. And we'll just have to see whether it's positive or negative.
Understood. And again, given concerns, all of them probably going to carry more weight than they would otherwise after we get the news on Friday about China slowing down and our economy slowing down on the manufacturing side. Like I said, some of the folks are saying that we got amplified on Friday by all the concern over the Mueller report, but it ended up becoming a kind of a nothing burger in terms of what anybody expected. 45 minutes before we opened this morning, Phillip, after a 460-point dive on the Dow on Friday, where are we heading to start Monday off?
Well, one thing about Friday is it put every index we had in the negative for the week. It put the Dow in a negative for the year to date. So, so it was a rough day. But today, I'll say we are still heading down today. Not by a lot today, but we're down. The Dow's down 22 points. Which is basically negligible. The S&P 500 is down 0.1%, $2.75. NASDAQ's down to about 0.2%, $16. Gold and silver are really coming on strong given what's happening in the stock market. Gold's up $5.80 an ounce to $1,318 an ounce, and silver's up 0.9% to $15.54 an ounce. Crude oil is sliding back down off that 60 number, down to $58.84 a barrel right now.
Well, we'll take a small favor where it goes. Those interest rates we mentioned, 10-year Treasury bills, trading at 2.46% this morning. 3-month is at 2.41, so we're just a matter of 5 basis points away from crossing a really weird and concerning yield curve this morning. Overseas markets probably triggering our red ink this morning. We'll see what happens when the real money gets thrown around. All the Asian rim markets down and down big off of the Chinese numbers from Friday. 2% down in Hong Kong, Japan down 3%. Europe also trading off, although nowhere near as bad as the Asian markets did. Phillip, somebody want to get some reassurance that you really can save a productive retirement even in the face of these weird times. How do I find you on the phone?
Then give us a call at 382-0037. Hey, check out our Facebook page at Statler Financial Services. We've got a lot of good information that we put out there. We repost some videos out there every day. So some good information there. Catch us there. And then join us every weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning. Hey, I got to tell you, Dave, on the way to church on Sunday, I was getting a lot of static on my AM station. So I had my wife pull up on her phone the online version of the News Talk channel, and it's pretty good.
Thank you. We just bought a boatload of new bandwidth in order to cover all the streams because folks are using it. It's at newstalk730am.com. Just scroll down, hit the listen live button, and listen till you're happy, right?
Exactly, man. I really do appreciate that. Hey, have a great day. Think about this is the last week of March. We're going to end the quarter on Friday. So have a good start of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, Dave.
Thank you much, and go Knowles. Fair enough?
Fair enough, man. Thanks. Hey, I hope you found this morning's show interesting as we head into this week. There's a lot of economic stuff coming out this week on Thursday, especially. So I hope you'll tune back in tomorrow. Catch us then. Hey, again, if you have or getting close to retirement or are already retired, hey, click the link above and schedule your free, no obligation x-ray visit where we'll x-ray your current portfolio to determine how much risk you have and what you're paying in fees and expenses. So, hey, thanks. Look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.